Hi guys. I more than likely will be putting out 2 videos today. The reason is because I'm going through the older dreams and visions of a few months ago, and I'm having these cool ones that I'm just having now. And while they're fresher in my head, maybe I'll, if I can do more than one in a day, I will. Um, but yeah, I'll do one in a little bit on a separate video that has a little bit to do with eternal companionship and some other stuff. Um, but this one I just had was really good. It's one of them dreams that you're a lot's going on, but for some reason, like towards the end, like the most important part of the dream comes up, and so you kind of maybe God really only cared if you remembered the important aspects of a dream, or maybe it's because I don't know. My dreams sometimes can be really long, and so I remember this kind of like the last scene of this dream, which I think is what he was trying to tell me anyway. So that's what I'm about to share with you. Okay, so in this last scene of this dream, which was long, I'm sitting in this building, and and I remember people were in there, and I was not in my own country. I was in a different country completely, and there was just people in there, and they were all really hungry, and they were starving, and they were poor. And as I had me a plate of food, but it was only like a few bites. It was kind of like scraps. I had like a few bites of food in my plate. It wasn't much to eat, and so for some reason, I'm glad I did it. But for some reason, I kind of like just took a bite or two, and I put the other bite or two of food that was in my plate back in a pot of water, a pot of seasoning or whatever it was. And this little kid, this little foreign kid, goes and he starts eating out of the plate of the pot of food, eating the scraps that I put back in. And then I go to. I remember making a phone call to my uncle, and then I told him that I was out of the state or out of the country or whatever, and I was trying to get back home, and I wanted him to meet me halfway or something like that, and I was trying to arrange a way for this to happen because I don't think I had any money, and then so I remember as I did this, I start to leave this place, this house or building or business place or waiting room, whatever it was. Um, I hear large, huge sirens going off, kind of like if you had I'm not sure if it was tornadoes. Well, in this dream, it was more tornado-like, but it could be tornadoes, tsunami warnings. But I hear these huge warnings come up, and then out of nowhere, there's like this 300, I don't know, but for some reason in my head I'm thinking 300 miles an hour, like whirlwind. I think of tornadoes, but think of scattered locations, but think more spread out, like if it'd be a hurricane. But it wasn't a hurricane, it was just, I don't know, it was a combination. I just called it the whirlwind. It was huge, and it was lifting people up, and it was just doing damage. What I saw is damage. I'm not sure. I'm pretty. This might symbolize the rapture, or it might symbolize, um, extreme hurricanes and tornadoes. I'm not sure, but I just woke up, guys, from a nap, so I had to think about this for a little bit, and interpret it. But I know this is a rapture dream, so who knows? But I'm sitting there, and I'm hiding myself under this building I just came out of, and these winds, guys, are just so powerful. I just lifting my body up. I'm holding on for my life here, and so they stop, and I survived this first one, and then I start to walk to go back to my state or country or whatever it was, and the sirens go off again, and I can look up in the air and I can see the clouds doing weird things. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this was the rapture. It had to be, but I think people were dying in it, so that's why I'm kind of like hesitant on it. But I see these winds, and they're coming, and the sirens are bad, and everybody's screaming, and they're all trying to find some little hole or some little under a building, some place to hide their bodies, because this wind was so strong. If you weren't under something really powerful to hold on to, you were getting taken up. You were done. It was taking you up. This whirlwind was so powerful. I saw people hiding their bodies, and they're like say if you had like if you have an overpass and people hide themselves under there for tornadoes, where everybody was hiding themselves under objects all over the place. And so I hid myself under this this metal, kind of thin metal. It survived the last whirlwinds. But so I went under this place, this certain place, and it came, and I didn't survive this time. I just was holding on for dear life, and this whirlwind just picked me up in the air and threw me up in the air. And as I'm up in the air, I'm surrounded by debris. I try to look to see how high I am off the ground. Like, if I get dropped, do I have enough? Like, am I low enough to survive this? But I can't see anything. And as I'm up there, I'm debating, is this the best way to die? I'm thinking to myself, for some reason, I don't know why yet, but I'm thinking, well, what if I was buried alive? The thought came to my head, would you rather be buried alive? I was like, no, I probably would rather just die right now with this thing, I want to be buried alive. And I think a few more death scenarios came to my head, and I was like, no, I'll just go with this. I don't know why I was thinking that, but I did. And then I end up, and then all of a sudden, I end up in this, boom, I'm in a different scene here, and I'm in a really peaceful place. The colors, I can't describe the colors. It was a beautiful place. I mean, I didn't see it that vivid to where I can explain to you the flowers and this and that and that. But I remember this place was really like peaceful. And it was like, when you say a blue color, or you see a whatever color it is, it was like a deep, really deep, peaceful color. And everyone, I saw a bunch of people there, and they all were like really young. They were like all in their 20s. I say 20s, but it could have been teens to 30. I'm not sure. But they all looked really young and really good-looking people there. And they were cooking out. They were like having outdoors barbecues, and they were eating a bunch of food. It was like a banquet set up, but it was more like an outdoorsy type thing set up this time. And they all looked really young. And I say something, and I kind of they asked me a question, and I kind of stutter, and I kind of make a joke about it. Well, as I stutter, they giggle at me. And not in a laughing bad way, just kind of giggle at me, and I'm like, I kind of joke around. I'm from Louisiana, and I stutter sometimes, and they're like, "Oh, you're from Louisiana?" None of these people were from Louisiana. I mean, like the group I was with, they were from different places. Like, they didn't know where I was from. And so, guys, I'm sitting there, or I'm standing there. I always say sitting there, but I'm standing there, and I'm talking to them, and as they were asking me where I was from, and I said Louisiana, I all of a sudden blurted out, "Is this heaven?" I just remembered dying, and now I'm in this beautiful place, and I asked them, "Is this heaven?" And they look at me, and they say something like that with a smile. So yeah, I was just thinking, wow. And then and guys, there was sports going on in there. It was like an outdoors picnic almost, food banquet. People playing sports. It was, and he told me this something like that. And pretty much one or two more things happened, but for some reason I'm having a hard time remembering it right now. But I think the message of this was pretty clear, and I think this was the most important part that he wanted me to remember. Pretty sure this is a rapture dream. And I'll put this one up, and I'll put another one up in a little bit. And I hope you guys like this. I haven't had time to really interpret this yet, but I wanted to put it up while it's still fresh in my head. Tell me what you guys think below. And please share this video. The way others can start seeing some of the other videos I'm putting up. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, give me what you think. Right down below what you think this means. Thanks, guys.